Okay, David. So, cat person.
Absolutely. Yeah, Cat Person. Big Sundance Film Festival indie film. Um,
Like, it's a really small budget.
yeah, very small budget. Good cast though. It's got the actress who was in Coda, that film that won Best Oscar 2 years ago. I should remember her name. I apologise. So she stars in it. I'll see if I can find her name. Um, and also the guy who plays Greg in Succession is also in it. So it's got a good cast, but it definitely is low budget. So I'm just finding their actual names here because the cast is very good. And ultimately, what it's about is there's a girl. She's 20. She's at college slash university in America, and it's very much a case. These are the actual names. So it's Emily Jones plays the main character, and Nicholas Braun, and it starts up as a type of quite awkward style comedy, uh, romantic comedy ultimately, and then it evolves into a psychological thriller. It's a real genre bender. So she works at a cinema behind a kiosk, and she's currently at university. And he turns up, and he's about 33, mid 30s, he's an older chap, and they start flirting and kind of getting on. And he's very awkward and odd and very, very nerdy and quite nervous around the ladies, and he's a real film fan. He's always turning up at the cinema she works at, and he's like a massive like Harrison Ford fan. And he's
Are you
always
taking the piss?
no, it was a bit bizarre, and it's not really a character you'd aspire to, really. But there was a few traits that were quite similar. He's got an amazing Indiana Jones jacket that he
Whoa,
wears.
whoa, whoa. Hang on a minute.
I know it's a bit
I feel like you're taking
biographical.
the piss out of me here.
No, no, it is a bit odd. Yeah, but I think hopefully there's a line to this because he is an odd bloke. So I was sat in the cinema thinking, God Almighty, I hope this isn't too biographical.
Well, so he goes to the cinema a lot and he wears a Harrods.
He goes to cinema a lot. He's in his mid 30s and a bachelor, and he's obsessed by Harrison Ford. And even before I knew the Harrison Ford connection, I leant over to Ryan and I said to him, I'm just going to have to get one of those jackets. I didn't even know it was an Indiana Jones jacket at that point. And I
And then
do
10
need
minutes
to.
later, he's murdering everyone.
Well, no spoilers type of thing. But
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying if he does or he
No,
doesn't.
no, no,
Do you know what I
no,
mean?
no, no. Yeah.
But the whole element of the film is
Is it
uh,
creepy? Is it a creepy feel?
very, very creepy because you don't know if he's just awkward. Basically,
I like the sound of this, David.
after yes, you would like the idea of it, and also it's very clever in the sense that it doesn't just see everything from a feminist point of view. There is a conversation. There are times where you feel that he's quite vulnerable, or you feel sorry for him, and maybe she's too paranoid towards him
Yeah.
because you basically don't know, is he just an awkward,
Mm.
nerdy guy that's struggling to navigate life, or is he a genuine psycho that means her harm? Because at one point she actually says, I don't want to go any further with this because her first night with him is very cumbersome. You know, first um, night of love, intercourse, whatever you want to call it. If you're a scientist or a love guru,
Butt
and it's
sesh.
absolutely yes, that's the best way to call it. Just like a hot knife through butter. That was that description. Don't tiptoe around. Yeah, so it's a case of yeah. She after the first fornication, it's just like I'm not interested in this.
I feel like I don't want to know anything else about the film because
Yeah.
you've sort of teed up a. I'm very, very intrigued, and I don't
Oh, I
want to know.
think you'd find it very, very, very interesting. I think it's a real. I think people who don't get on with it, and this is once again very general, no spoilers. It's one of those things where it seems that if you want to come up with anything original in cinema, it's got to be a genre mashup, hasn't it? It's got to be different genre styles mashed together. And I would say when it moves in between genres, like romantic comedy, awkward humor, psychological thriller, the gears stick a bit. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I mean, that's why Edgar Wright was so is so popular, isn't it? That he's very good at balancing all those different genre tones and styles. But I wouldn't say it's always that slick cat person in doing it. Also, the other thing that's very, very good, very relatable, is they have long periods where they don't see each other, but they date via text message, and that's very relatable.
Did it win
Like,
awards, Cat Person?
it was nominated for awards. In actual fact, there's one. Yeah, it was nominated for Sundance Awards. I don't think it actually won any, but it got very strong reviews out there, 100%. But definitely worth looking at. I think what was refreshing is that I thought it was going to be, and there's nothing wrong with a feminist message. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? But I thought it was going to be very much from that feminist point of view. But it criticises also her best friend, who's hyper feminist, and is so hyper feminist it's almost toxic. And you do see it from different points of view. There's a great opening quote by Margaret Atwood, the author, at the beginning. It says, "Men worry about being laughed at by women," and then it says, "What is it? Women worry about being killed by men." So I know it's quite intense, but yeah, it's food for thought. I would say though the only problem I'd say with it is the blur of genders doesn't always keep it stable and rooted in reality. Genres. What did I just say?
Genders.
Genders. The blimey, flipping heck. I'm looking at a poster of it now, and they're kissing. I think that's probably why I suddenly thought of that now. Of cat person, that is.
Yeah.
The blend of genders. But yes, it was
Blended gender.
Blended gender. Absolutely. We are
Brenda Blethyn.
Brenda Blethyn. Absolutely. Blended gender. You are quite right.
Yeah. Okay.
Blending the genders.
So that sounds great. That sounds very. I'm up for having a watch a cat person. Well, let's guess how many choc ices out of 5 David's going to give cat person. This is an interesting one. I think there's a pretty positive review, but he did say it's that genre thing. Said is it the gears are sticking. Okay, I'm gonna have my little guess. I'm gonna have to write it on my hand.
It's definitely very new and inventive. It's certainly worth checking out.
Here we go. David, how many choc ices out of 5 are you going to give cat person?
3.5. Wow. Am I always 3.5? I'm trying
No. I just thought you liked it. Not quite enough to go 4. 4's a biggie for you. If you give something a 4, but you thought there was enough going on not to give it a 3, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a spot on observation. Yeah, I think it's completely right. It's
loads of people have gone for 3.5 in the YouTube comments. Most people.
Some people probably get more out of it than me. It had that second act problem as well that we've always spoken about, where it just sort of lulls during the second act. It was frustrating that I can't even put my finger on what it was.
So bloody hard.
But
that right,
it seems to be, when you're watching films, it seems to be almost like it's like I think you've said about conversations. When you're talking to someone, you're always thinking of the next thing you're going to say or whatever. And it didn't have that kind of hanging question mark for some of it. It was always very present in the moment. And there was no like, oh, what's going to happen now? What's this? What's that? It does have that later on, but certainly it's very dialogue heavy in some of the dates and things in that vein. It wasn't a mass. I think some people would be fine with that. I think I've just got cinematic
You like
ADHD.
your explosions?
I like my explosions. I like men with muscles. Simple as that.
Can you sing that song that you wrote in the 90s called Explosions?
Absolutely. Explosion. 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 Feedback. Simple as that. It wasn't a hit. It was on a B-side. Explosion. It had legs. People just weren't in it. I was before my time.
That coming. Explosion. I like that, David.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, David, for this week's new movie review.
No, thanks for your time. Thanks for listening.